Shazam, the Fury of the Gods. Now, let me go down this row real quick. I need to ask a few questions. Joey, what did you think of Shazam 1? Did you enjoy that film?
Shazam 1 was fantastic. I quite enjoyed it.
Okay. What did you think of Black Adam?
It was all right. It was a decent film. It wasn't anything special.
Black Adam wasn't in Shazam 2, Tony.
I know. I just want to get people's opinions on this Shazam verse before we jump into Shazam 2.
That's fair.
Adam, we already have talked about Black Adam at length. Mint Salad, what did you think of Black Adam? I know you did Black Adam History Month, where you reviewed all Rock movies.
Oh boy.
Yuck. Black
Adam is definitely probably one of the worst DC movies I've ever seen.
What did you think of Shazam? What did you think of Shazam 1, though?
Shazam 1 was actually pretty quaint. I quite enjoyed it.
Okay. Rhea, did you like Shazam 1?
I did. I saw it in theaters.
It was a good time. What did you think of Black Adam?
I love Black Adam. I also saw it in theaters. I thought
we found the one person. We found the one person.
I like Rhea with the flex. I saw it.
We found the one person who liked Black Adam. Okay.
What are you talking about? My buddy Bless saw Black Adam 3 times in theaters. We fought for days over it. Like
what?
It's that
what
good.
What is wrong with you, dude?
What is wrong with everyone? Well, I got a bone to pick with Black Adam because I think it screwed over this movie a little bit.
Yeah.
Like the Rock's ego.
For this, Tony, that's beautiful.
Oh yeah, we'll get more into that. So Shazam 2 came out, and not many people are seeing it, and I think one of the factors in it is The Rock. Whether you like Black Adam or not, that's fine. The Rock thought he was gonna take over DC Comics and be its main guy, and he forgot in the superhero genre the actor only matters so much. It's you're never gonna be bigger than the character, really. And he kind of
what was his flex? What was the word he always said
about the hierarchy of power is about to change in the DC universe? And for Rhea, it did. Rhea was like, yeah, I'm fine with this hierarchy of power changing.
I was on board. I was just like, yes, let's see where this goes. I know this is focusing more on Shazam and how it might have, gotten screwed over by the decisions behind the scenes. But to be totally honest, my take is that whether or not Black Adam or even a Wonder Woman cameo, which would arguably be more valuable than a Black Adam cameo, even that couldn't save this movie. So as much as I enjoyed it was, it was already sinking before it launched.
Well, there was a second factor, which we're going to get to, which is why it's not just Black Adam. I think people are upset because Shazam did set up Black Adam. There was even a deleted scene where they set him up more. And then The Rock apparently was like, nah, I'm not being in that movie. I'm not doing a cameo. And they're like, okay. And they're like, hey, well, can some of the Shazam people cameo in your movie? And he's like, no, I want to fight Superman. And someone should remind him, hey, do you know where your character is from? I know your character has fought Superman, but he's a Shazam guy first. Let's build up to the Superman thing. Let's not try to do that right away. So I do think that was an issue. Now people realize that Shazam is never going to meet his arch enemy, really. Besides Dr. Savannah, they're like, oh, people want to see that rivalry. Now, The Rock was making it clear that that was not going to happen. But the second thing that affected it was James Gunn coming out and being like, hey, we're rebooting everything after The Flash. And it's like, oh, well, the people who go to see these movies, they want to see how one leads into the other. And you basically just told them that none of these movies matter when it comes to that. So I think people will end up seeing this when it hits streaming, but it didn't seem like anyone wanted to rush out to theaters for it. Having said that, I saw this movie. I really enjoyed it. I liked it as much as the first one. What did you guys think?
Yeah, I'm on the same boat as you. In fact, I enjoyed this movie a lot more. I felt like there was more interactions from the other members of the Shazamily. And
I've never heard him called that.
Oh yeah, it's a common thing.
The Shazamily.
Yeah, so having more screen time with the rest of the Shazamily, also getting more backstory on the villains as well, like the actual goddesses that all have different powers that impact, you know, time, space, physical matter, etc. And also getting, like, the third point that I also really like is that we get more time with the kids just being kids, because ultimately they're, you know, spending time as like their adult forms as superhumans, but their actual character development substantially happens when they are in their child form.
Yeah, I actually really enjoy that. Joey, what did you think of this wonderful film?
It was all right. I do like.
That's not what you said before the stream. That is not what you said before.
You're gonna make me say it, aren't you?
Unreal.
Yeah, I hated it. I hated it.
Why didn't it work for you? Why didn't it work for you?
It was just too like cheesy. Like it was too like Peacemakers. You know, like I kind of got that kind of vibe. Like it was just so goofy.
Peacemaker was fun. Did you not like Peacemaker?
I loved Peacemakers.
Okay.
Start out by saying that. So maybe that was a bad analogy, but
It's just
yeah, I just thought it was
It's not plural.
It's just Peacemaker. Why
Peacemaker. There's only one.
Yeah.
I thought it was a bit too goofy. I'm not a DC guy, so it's hard for me to get into it. I'm more of a Marvel guy, and I know that you're huge into DC. So
Yes, I'm more of a DC guy. I mean, you prefer the Captain Marvel, played by Brie Larson. You tell me all the time. You're like, Tony, she's my favorite. I watch that movie every night before I go to sleep.
That's right.
Adam, of course, loves Captain Marvel more than the Shazam Captain Marvel.
Of course, yeah.
Because you're woke, obviously.
Right,
Adam, where did you land on this film? Did you love it, hate it, or just not care?
So I enjoyed it. I took my 2 children. They also really enjoyed it. We liked the first Shazam film. I gotta say though, T-Money, which is what I'm gonna call you now, Tony, for this one time only, and never again.
Okay. You've called me that several times, but keep going.
Today. T-Dog. I don't know if the internet's kind of weird because it feels like everyone's connected and understands everything, but I don't think James Gunn's announcement really is relevant to people outside of Twitter. Like if you ask your mom or your dad or whatever, they probably don't even know who James Gunn is. So I don't think that really did much to hurt the draw. I think the trailers just sucked for this film. I think having another Superman like Black Adam character again, only a couple months later, on top of Ant-Man 2, or I mean, I guess it's 3, coming out right before this one, there was just too much trash, too much noise.
Yeah.
And Shazam is already kind of a, you know, obscure character. But this was good. I liked it, and I appreciate man, Lucy Liu can still get it. I have to say that.
Keep in mind, Shazam, Captain Marvel, is only obscure because the character went through a bunch of rights issues. Sure. And like back in like the 40s and shit, he was outselling Superman. There's an alternate reality where he's like a bigger character than Superman, but he got hung up in a bunch of rights issues. Because Captain Marvel Jr. was a big inspiration for Elvis and how he wore his wardrobe and stuff. He was a big fan of the Captain Marvel Jr. character. Mint Salad, what did you think of Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods?
Honestly, I think it is worse than the first one.
Really?
I particularly dislike the from the first movie. They have glowing emblems on their chest. In this movie, they don't. And also,
they glow sometimes. They glow sometimes, but they can turn it off now.
They don't glow all the time, which is my main issue. I also
that's the criterion.
There's like less family connection in this movie than there is the first one.
What are you talking about? They're interacting way more in this one.
I feel like this one is like much more. The last movie is much more devastating emotionally than this movie, in my opinion.
I get it, but they overcame those issues, and now they have new issues they need to explore.
That is true.
To Min's point, it is really funny that the step-parents couldn't figure out that their eldest daughter was the superhero when she is the exact same when she puts on the costume.
They recast her. Now, I will say, they did redesign the costumes a lot. Like they had a different Mary Marvel in the first one, and she looked straight out of the comics in the first one. She does have a little bit of that brick pattern, but someone on Twitter, I think it was Razorfist, said her new outfit looks like they skinned a kickball from when he used to play kickball in like school and made an outfit out of it. It seems like they went a little overboard on the redesigns, I think. I think they could have toned that down a little bit. But how I justify it is like these kids live in a superhero world, so maybe they like figured out how to change their outfits to look more like, because Superman's in this universe, his suit is a little too over designed. So maybe that's what it was. Maybe she's able to make it look more like her instead of like what the other girl looked like. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was happy seeing her in the role. I really like that Grace Curry character. She was really good in Fall. Did you guys see the movie Fall?
Good flick.
Oh, Fall was fun. Real dodgy CGI here and there, but it was mostly fun. But no, it worked for me. I enjoyed it. I love that the wizard survived. I didn't think he was going to come back in this one until I saw the trailer, obviously.
Yeah.
But I love that actor. I love seeing him whenever he shows up and things. And having him be a bigger part.
What's the main guy's name what's Chuck's name again?
Oh,
Zachary
Levi.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I couldn't really stand him in the movie. And I liked the movie quite a bit.
Yeah.
But he did not work for me. He's way more immature than Billy is. So whenever he was talking, it's like, why is Billy the adult in this scenario? It didn't translate at all.
Yeah, I think they need to work together to get like their mannerisms and stuff down to kind of match each other. There was a little bit of a disconnect, I'll give you that. And yeah, but everything else about the movie, I'm showing some of my favorite parts of the movie here. It really worked for me. Everything really, really worked for me in this film. You're right though.
I think
what was
Mint,
that?
had a comment.
Oh, Mint, what's up? What did you want to say about this film?
First, I think the costumes are too over designed.
Yeah.
In this movie compared to the last movie. And like just all of their costumes way over designed. And like
going
honestly,
back.
I don't think there's like anything memorable about like each individual character's design that like stands out to me.
Other than the colors.
Different colors, but like that's it. Just different colors, not like a different hairpiece or accessory or anything.
I did appreciate that they've made the Rock of Eternity their hangout and they like decorated it. I did like them, like they dressed up the Sin statues. Like, that's fun. That's fun. And of course, as a Philly boy, it was fun to see them flying around Philadelphia, even though it still doesn't really look like Philadelphia at all. They go to the stadium. They go to Citizens Bank Park, I think. So that's something. But that was my issue with the first one. They go to just a convenience store and they buy beer, and I'm like, you can't do that in Pennsylvania. Like you can't just buy beer in any kind of convenience store in Pennsylvania. So it really took me out of it, Adam. And I took points off for it.
I understand.
I took points off. The Creed movies look like they're in Philly, but the Shazam movies need to be a little bit better. But no, it was a good time. I liked all the characters. I enjoyed the bad guys. You're right. The trailers weren't great. The movie, I think, is really good, but the trailers didn't do it justice. And yeah, they even tried to, like Rhea said, they tried to throw out the Wonder Woman cameo. They spoiled it for some reason, which means that whole ending was not very entertaining because we all knew what was going to happen because we saw the trailer. But yeah, for whatever reason, people didn't go out. Not that the first one was a huge hit anyway. But yeah, I think you're right. I think it's just superhero fatigue, which I don't think people are done with superhero films, but I just think we were kind of slammed with a bunch of mediocrity recently, and people are like, I don't feel like going to the theaters for this one. But no, I enjoy the character. I thought it was really good. It is getting way more hate. I think there's people who aren't seeing the movie just assuming it's really bad. And it's like, no, it's not really. You can have superhero fatigue and maybe not be interested in it, but don't just assume it's like a huge piece of shit, because it's really not. It's a solid.
My hot take on.
Yeah, sorry, Ray, you go.
Yeah, I was gonna mention, like, to your all's point about like this ecosystem of Twitter banter that a lot of us are like plugged into constantly. I feel like that has just, reflected not so much like the general audience's superhero fatigue necessarily. Maybe it is like reflected in the box office that there is a general sense of fatigue in this genre, but yeah, like I don't see any other engagement on this IP outside of, Twitter, to be totally honest. And a lot of our speculation on why that is because, box office, superhero fatigue, the studio system, like not making it clear what their, production pipeline is and how it interconnects with established lore, things like that. And I'm like, I wonder if these are necessarily givens with the general audience, or if those are things we're assuming are important to the general audience, if that makes sense. So it's kind of unclear, like what is impacting what.
I think if you polled like regular moviegoers, 50% of them would say that Shazam is part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They just don't pay attention. They just don't pay attention to that crap.
There are people I know who like weren't familiar with Shazam that just thought it looked kind of corny and stupid. I'm like, well, yeah, it is a little corny, but it's kind of fun. I know. I think one of my cousins, her son, like for a while, just loved the Shazam movie. Like he got super into it. So it does have its audience. I'm glad it got a second movie, because I wasn't sure if it was going to. But yeah,
I don't think it needs more. Like people are upset that it's probably not going to get any more movies. Not everything needs to have 7 or 8 films, and sometimes it's nice if there's just a couple. Yeah. Like in the case of Ghostbusters 1 and 2.
Mint, are you being held at gunpoint, or are you raising your hand?
I'm raising my hand because.
Okay, you put both hands up, and I thought like someone was about to shoot you. What's up, Mint?
Okay. First of all, I do not like how Wonder Woman appears headless for like 2 times in the movie, and then appears head full, like towards the end of the movie. No,
I did like that. I did like that because it was funny in Shazam 1 where they couldn't get Henry Cavill and they cut it off. And again, if they didn't spoil it ahead of time, we all probably would have assumed that they just weren't going to show Wonder Woman's face. That would have been pretty funny. And then they finally showed her at the end. But again, they spoiled it, so it kind of like ruined the joke there.
But just to kind of like echo Mint's, criticism on that, like the grander scope of like DC fandom, and I'm sure, Tony, you probably heard this as well, that, the total disrespect and lack of acknowledgement for the Trinity, like this, like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman in this universe, they're all alluded to. It's all pretty clear that, they are being acknowledged in this film and that they exist. They even reference the same actors, like with Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, yet there's just a complete disregard for the legacy that previous content that they're involved in has. Yes, it's a lack of disrespect in my opinion, and it's disheartening to see, honestly, as a DC fan.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really into the DCEU in general, which I actually like Shazam because if you just go into Shazam, you can just all you have to know is that other superheroes exist. You don't have to exactly like consider those films canon because they don't really matter too much to the Shazam story. But yeah, no, I thought the Gal Gadot thing would have been funny if they didn't spoil it. But I understand your concern, Mint, because they spoiled her in the trailer. You assume she's going to be around longer. Real quick, let's get Bearded Outlaw in here because I think he saw Shazam. What did you think of Shazam 2?
Let me tell you. I love Shazam. I love both.
Holy shit, wait a minute. That is the first let me tell you of the night, and it didn't come from Joey C.
I know, I'm shocked.
Anyway, keep going, Bearded Outlaw.
I loved it. I had a blast with it. I think both of Shazam movies, I compare them to like what I thought with the first 2 Ant-Man movies. So they're smaller movies. They don't really connect with anything. They don't have to interact with any other characters.
Yeah.
Just a small little superhero movie doesn't really, you need Batman, you don't need none of that stuff to be a part of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I really liked it.
And you brought your nephew, right?
I did. He gave it a 4.75. A
4.75 out of 5?
Out of 5.
Okay. Wait. Mint, is that a solid 4.75?
Oh yeah, it's a solid 4.75.
I don't know if you know that, Adam, but Mint's numbering system for her movie, she always says solid, and then she doesn't pick a solid number. It's really frustrating.
Yeah, I've seen some of her reviews, and I guess that didn't dawn on me that that's what she was doing.
I called it out in the Halloween review. I'm like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. And I'm bad at math, but even I know that. Anyway, I'm glad you liked it. Glad your nephew liked it. I'm going to let you go now, Bearded Outlaw.
Yep.
Thank you for stopping by.
See you later.
Man, look how lucky that guy was. He's a $10 patron. He gets to be on the show. It's so amazing, right, guys? It's so
like
amazing.
It's like a Make-A-Wish Foundation here. It's quite remarkable.
I don't know if I would compare it to that, but okay.
No, I would. I think that's fair.
We're helping the people out. We're treating them.
By the way, I drove to the set today because I'm still not moved in, and I made sure to grab my Ghostface mask for the Scream section, and then I totally forgot about that.
And you forgot. Nice.
I totally forgot it. Real quick, the one in Dennis. I forget. What movie did you say you saw?
John Wick.
Okay, we'll bring you back. Thank you. I just needed a reminder. Okay. Brett Parker from Dissect That Film. Hello.
Hello.
What movies did you see that are on the list?
Beautiful.
I only saw Scream 6.
Okay, well, tell us right now. What did you think of Scream 6?
It was fun. I had a good time. I don't take these movies serious. The only really good one is the first one, and the rest of them are just kind of there and to enjoy. So
I don't know. Scream 4 is pretty great. How would you rank this? Would you put this in like the top Scream movies or one of the?
Oh, it's my number 2.
Really? I can't believe this is a lot of people's like number 2, one of their favorites. That's
it's got its problems, but I really had a good time with it.
So number 3 is your favorite, right?
Number 1, of course, yes.
We're finding out everyone loves.
I love watching the ball, but no, I can't say that, Joey.
However, if you want to hear Brett Parker talk about a third installment in the series, I went on his show and I talked about I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. Yeah, there was a third movie. It went direct to video. And I picked the movie and I apologized a great deal for picking it. I didn't realize how bad it was going to be. Even knowing the spoiler going in, I didn't realize how bad it was going to be. But thank you, Brett Parker, for stopping by and giving us your thoughts.
Well,
check out Dissect That Film. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brett.
What a sweetheart.
Man, all these lucky people get to be on the show. It's so amazing. It's so amazing. For only $10 a month.
Only $10? That's insane.
That's sickening.
For the price of a small popcorn at your local movie theater, because they've learned nothing in 30 years of people complaining, you could be on the most famous show on the internet.
It's true.